Hello, my name is Zane. I'm 18 years old. I'm going to be performing Mozart's monologue from Amadeus, and I'm going to be performing Richard II's monologue from Richard II. And the reason why I love acting is, there's no comparison to other crafts because when you're acting, especially on stage, you are there in the room with the person, and your emotions are being transferred directly, person to person, and I just think that's very special. And in other crafts, there's sort of like a middleman of interpretation. I don't know, maybe I'm rambling. Let me just perform my monologues for you. No matter where, of comfort no man speak. Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow in the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills. And yet not so, for what can we bequeath save our deposed bodies to the ground? Our lands, our lives, and all are Bolingbroke's, and nothing can we call our own but death, and that small model of the barren earth which serves as paste and cover to our bones. For God's sake, let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings. Some have been deposed, some slain in war, some sleeping killed, some poisoned by their wives, some haunted by ghosts they have deposed. All murdered, for within the hollow crown which rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court. And there the antic sits, scoffing at his state and grinning at his pomp, allowing him a breath, a little scene to monarchize, to be feared, to kill with looks, infusing him with the self and vain conceit. And as if this flesh which walls around our lives were brass impregnable, and humor thus comes through with a little pin, bores through his castle wall, and farewell, king. Cover your heads, and mock not flesh and blood with solemn reverence. Throw away tradition, form, ceremonies, duty, for you have but mistook me all this while. I live with grief like you. Taste one. Need friends. Subjected thus, how can you say to me I am king? Was that good? I don't understand you. You're all up on perches, but it doesn't hide your assholes. You don't give a shit about gods and heroes. If you are honest, each one of you, which of you isn't more at home with his hairdresser than Hercules, or Horatius, or your stupid Danaus, or mine, Idomeno, king of Crete? All these anguished antiques, they're all bores. Bores! All serious operas written this century are boring. Look at us. Four gaping mouths, perfect quartet. I'd love to write it just this second now, as you are. Your prefect, thinking.
Ignorant Mozart, debasing opera with his vulgarity.
Herr Chamberlain, thinking. Impertinent Mozart, I must speak to the emperor at once. Herr Court Composer, thinking. German Mozart, what can he finally know about the music? And Mozart himself, in the middle, thinking, I'm just a good fellow, why do they all disapprove of me? That is why opera is important, Baron, because it's realer than any play. Now, a dramatic poet would have to write down all these thoughts one after the other to represent just this second of time. But the composer can put down all these thoughts simultaneously and still make us hear each one of them. Astonishing device, a vocal quartet. And I tell you, I wish to write a finale lasting half an hour. Quartet, becoming quintet, becoming sextet, becoming septet, on and on, wider and wider, all sounds multiplying and rising together to create a sound entirely new. I bet you that's how God hears the world. Millions of sounds mixing in his ear to become unending music, unimaginable to us. That's our job. That's our job, we composers. To combine the inner thoughts of him and him, and her, the thoughts of the chambermaids, the court composers, and turn the audience into God. I'm sorry. I talk nonsense all day. It's incurable. Ask Stanzi. My tongue is stupid. My heart is not.